Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 15, 2024. We have a bit of a light docket today, as we discussed yesterday in our recap video. Take a quick look at the quote. Rose Kennedy, I know not age, nor weariness, nor defeat. We do have some earnings today. Take a quick look here. These should have already been done or should be on their way. So we'll look at these sectors to see how the banks, healthcare, yeah, how XLF and XLV is performing. Really not too much for earnings. We do have a few Fed speakers later in the day. And then just a reminder of the breaths that we saw yesterday. Okay, look at the sectors. SU, industrials, finance, healthcare, technology, discretionary, staples, communications, and negative 1% on the VIX. Okay. So we have XLV down 1%, so we'll keep an eye on them. Finance is actually leading today. So we're going to make sure that they can keep their strength. And then we'll just keep an eye on technology. So really just the top three. Okay. And we see NVIDIA is down about 0.7%. So about 3/4. We'll see how they're doing. Yeah. And we'll just keep it chill for the day. Light, light range, light volume. Again, we did our recap last night. We're primarily looking to see if they defend these singles, which is at the 20K 500 for the NQ and 58.90 for the ES. Quick look at the daily. Of course, we're just impulsing. Bulls have the control highest time frame and the intermediate and the daily as well. So pretty simple. Bears have no kind of control. If they're even going to be a part of the narrative, they will need to at least gain control of the 5,800 mark and get back under the 5 SMA for the daily on the NQ. So I mean, it should be a rather chill day. We already did a couple zones for our overnight session. Let's take a look at those. We are trading as of right now. We are headed back into the prior IB high from yesterday. And for the ES, we are above the prior day's high. IB high, rather. So again, extremely bullish here for the S&P 500, which is what we saw for the quote board. Especially with finance really pushing. They really need healthcare to kind of step up. but we'll see. All right, 1 second. All right, make sure I get that all-time high marker correct. Okay. I think we are prepared. Let me get my notes ready. And again, no real activity for the SOC. We should be somewhere in here. That 530 data was pretty mild. Again, the overnight auction that we've seen test lower and reverting higher. We've seen that often. As of right now, we may pull back into some of this overnight range and possibly have like an open test drive. I highly doubt that we just splash through this, but we'll see. We have seen in the past where there's been there's been holiday trading that has been reversed pretty quickly. So it wouldn't be unsurprising, but there will at least be some kind of clues to the way that we start this session before we can even speculate that. So we got about 2.5 minutes until the market opens. Go ahead and test our script.
Block sell.
And again, we wouldn't be surprised seeing some profit taken as we head into the RTH session. A little bit of rebalancing. But we just want to make sure we keep a good eye on who's leading to the downside if that continues. Keep an eye on the video and healthcare. So again, it is a reminder that we did have this huge impulse was all from a holiday trading, which again we've seen in the past that's been reverted. But as of right now, we have no reason to doubt the buyers. They are innocent until proven guilty. All right, 10 seconds.
Block sell. Block buy.
All right. So we want to see if we're going to get an open drive. Okay, they already ate through that area for the NQ. And not yet for the ES. So NVIDIA ended up catching up, but Amazon Meta kind of sold off some. Still worse for Broadcom. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on all this. Again, do remember that the volume is pretty light. So we want to kind of manage our expectations from here. Alright, so we'll keep an eye on
Block cell.
yeah, NQ is trying to push to these highs. ES is trying to take a little bit of a break. What's going on here? We really just need some time to kind of let this play out. Big response. Oh no. Sorry about that. Fairly tight range for S&P 500. More downside on the NQ. I'm not sure what to make of this. Open auctions so far. Alright, NQ is pushing these highs again. ES is lagging just a bit.
Block buy.
But why?
Block by.
Damn, Tay. Hmm.
Block by.
It's Tesla and Apple. Tesla, Apple, Google. Okay. Alright, yeah, starting to push their highs now. I get it's like a plus two, no, plus 1.5 for the NQ. Yes, it's just kind of moving sideways. And again, we shouldn't have any data or anything coming out at 7. We will have some Fed speakers, I believe, at 8 o'clock.
Block sell.
Okay, possibly a leg lower. Still more of an open auction.
Block sell.
Okay, another 10 seconds. Alright, that's the 10-minute mark. Yeah, we're still just kind of moving sideways for now. And the ES has not reached their overnight highs, which is like at the 15 halves. NQ pierced through theirs and came back in. Alright, they may have found their support. Bouncing out this VPOC, trying to push back up. See how long this lasts.
Block sell. Block buy.
Healthcare is still a bit weak. Finance pulled back some. Everyone's doing well so far. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see these highs. I'm just kind of just trading in this range, not too much. We do have these singles above us for the NQ. If we do burst out of these highs, I wouldn't be surprised. If we can reach these 20K 690s, 30 more points past these highs, we definitely can see some excursion higher. It should be pretty easy to do as well if the buy-in presence is there. All right, we're coming up at the 15-minute mark. What other people are seeing
Block sell.
is shit like this. All right, that was the end of that 15-minute mark. We should have shown that sellers were trying to push, and you can see it with the delta here as well. We'll see if they can find some other sellers advertising price for lower. And we're still just sitting at this range here for the NQ. Again, there really is not too much to talk about. So I mean that is a new low for the ES, but we didn't really push that lower. Not seeing too much urgency to the downside, but I'm pretty sure if we push these highs, you should see some people squeezing out. And it looks like we're getting ready to test that soon. And notice the flurry of selling coming in to push that back down. Buyers really want to get back over these 11s for the ES. See if they can touch this VPOC zone of the 59.12. Appears to be some kind of selling going on here. All right, they're making that push while the NQ is taking their time. All right, let's see if we can get a little snapshot. So keep an eye on who's doing what from here. NQ starting to fall back while ES is pushing now. Looks like that's NVIDIA. Broadcom. All right, now they're starting to push back up. All right. ES did hit those 12s. As soon as we hit those
Block
12s, looks like we may be being rejected from here. This is now the 20-minute mark. So one more 10-minute, that's the half hour. We got some passives coming in. Down here as well.
Block sell.
Some sellers on both sides being a bit aggressive. All right, NQ is getting ready to break their lows. Let's see if they actually do it, and if they sustain, they can get below the 600 mark. So they're fighting to crawl back up. This is some messy action.
Block by.
Look at these passive buyers down here. Oh, now they're showing up on this side as well. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how both sides respond. Once we head to these passive players, we want to see if we have the aggressors really hit those passives, and see if there's any kind of continuation. But who's gonna get hit first? The offers or the bids? Mm, take a look at crude oil. Mm, maybe one day I'll do crude. Alright, it should hit those highs for ES. Nice recovery for the NQ.
Block by.
People being squeezed. Again, once they hit these highs, we want to see how aggressive this is. Well, shit. If they hit the highs. Damn. Look at this on the 1 minute. Yeah, if that closes below, that's definitely gonna be a bad sign. But we still got 3.5 minutes until it's 7 o'clock. And again, the range has only been 6 points, so I mean, this isn't much at all. Okay, that 1 minute bar did close pretty aggressive. So we'll see a response from these buyers. All right, 2 minutes for this half hour. Right near these passive buyers, and we got passive sellers above us. NQ is a bit sturdier. Yes, that is not the case. That is due to industrials, utilities, finance, healthcare, everyone but technology, which is the exact opposite of what we saw yesterday, where everyone was doing well.
Block sell.
That's still no new low, though. Not yet. That was not a new low. For the micro, it was. Micro contracts, they broke that low. All right, 1 more minute. Looking at these 15-minute candles, that should be pretty.
Block sell. Block
Yeah.
sell.
Okay, that's the new low for sure. For
Block
ES,
sell.
NQ still holding up.
Block sell.
Notice these passive players are filling in, slowly stepping down. All right, we got another 10 seconds. 3 seconds. And that response was buying. Interesting. Yeah, this is what I was looking at a while ago. That headed to the downside seems somewhat controlled. So again, we're just sitting sideways in this range for the NQ. ES just kind of two-way trading I would imagine we may see another pullback to those 12s, where the majority of the volume is, or at least this VWAP somewhere between here, the 10 and the 12s. We don't appear to be overly aggressive to the downside, especially given the context of where we are, though this is thinly traded, so who knows. This bid isn't being filled. Do want to note the delta here. You have a fair amount of sellers that's pushing, and they're not getting much results. Again, all this delta down here, we're already back at this midpoint. So if we are able to get above, we're definitely going to see some, excuse me, it's a high chance that we'll see some squeeze in behavior. It's something to be mindful of. Mm. You done in here? You done in here? All right, you can turn the light on, please. Thank you. Okay. And we're still in this open auction shit for the NQ. So typical rules, if we break above, we will look for a pullback to the top of the range. And same thing to the bottom of the range. If we break down, we want to see a pullback to this initial balance low, and then a push lower to ideally break through this zone here, and then a overnight low to test to see how that goes. Same situation here for the ES. We would hope something like that. Or same thing to the reverse. We break this here, break that low, kind of pull back and push lower. But again, we're just going to need a little more time to see how this plays out. Because as of right now, nothing much is really happening. And just a heads up, I will need to take care of some more errands today, so I have to probably cut the video short. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be gone. Yeah, really, just everyone but tech is just kind of doing meh today so far. Again, you can look at the 15-minute candles here. We're just literally moving sideways for the NQ, a little up, a little down, a little up, a little down. This is a little up so far. I would imagine we're going to see a little down if that pattern continues. And then about the same, we're just ending lower for the ES. All right, NQ want to protect those 24s, really the 23s. So if not, it's basically going to be some stops. We should cascade down. ES want to protect those sevens. Okay. So they broke through those 23s a little bit. They bounced down and came right back up. That's a decent sign for the buyers, but they need to keep the price near this VPOC in this VWAP.
Block
Because
sell.
as of right now, both products are trading below theirs. So the majority of the volume, if you're short, you're in profit right now, as far as the RTH that is. All right, that is new low on the micro for ES and new low for the mini as well. Again, we haven't really seen a liquidation break yet. So I'm not really sure what to make from this. But we're starting to see the NQ being a bit weaker. Do you remember the Bulls have
Block
the
sell.
control overall time frames? So let's not get this twisted or anything like that. I think it's healthy to see this bit of a pullback. We're still above the 5900s. Once we start cracking below there and we get to those singles, then I think we'll have something to start talking about. And those singles began at the 90s, right? 80, 87s. NQ is firmly trading below their low now. They have not gotten back up above that IB high, which is the right there near those fives. Okay, it's a nice response from the buyers, that is.
Block buy.
But buyers are going to need to move away from these prices if they want to advertise for higher. Because as of right now, it looks like we may be leaning a bit lower. We'll give this like a still a negative 1.5 for the ES, maybe like a negative 1 for NQ. Do remember we are just really consolidating. It's trading, two-way trading sideways. Still no real liquidation break lower yet. Okay, it's a nice 1 minute close for the NQ. Okay, you saw them push up a little bit and get shot back down. So again, this is a little more of that urgency now. So we may have some buyers that may be giving up a little bit. They're starting to eat through that zone. Those are those stops for the NQ. ES has broken their zone completely, as has the NQ. They still have not hit their overnight low. ES is their overnight low is at the twos, at the 2 quarter.
Block sell.
And they're almost there. Ooh, he just bounced right off of it right before. And Q is still teetering. ES is really trying to protect their lows.
Block sell.
That 2 quarter.
Block sell.
Volume's kind of building up near these lows. Yeah, the tempo's picking up just a little bit. So we're below all of our DGPs. All right, that's that 15 minute there. Let's see what we're looking like. Again, these are some very scary looking 15 minute candles if you're a buyer. NQ new lows. ES still holding that kind of bottom ground area. All right, that was a nice bit of volume, and they pushed upwards. They really want to find their way back to this VWAP. They can get back above the initial balance low, the 6, that first bracket, somewhere between a 6 and a 9 for the ES and the NQ. They need to get back to the 610s, but they're making new lows again. Yeah, they're still pushing lower. ES starting to firm up a bit. Everyone else is doing well, but technology right now. So that little sentiment has
Block
switched.
sell.
So we're going to do a new checkpoint there to see where we are. If we do move away from this price, or if we continue to if we start to bear flag and consolidate sideways. But as of
Block
right
sell.
now, NQ is looking fairly weak. Once they got below their initial balance low, they really pushed through it. And that's not unexpected given the range that we were seeing here, that range bound trading. More of like a slow grind lower for the ES, which doesn't show too much urgency. But the grand scheme of things,
Block buy.
We have discretionary and consumer staples really leading, actually being led by, yeah, those. I mean, yeah, really. I mean, yeah, utilities, finance, discretionary, consumer staples. I mean, they're all doing pretty well. The laggards being healthcare, which what we saw earlier, and they're catching up for today, and technology. You know. So yeah, this one's a little messy for sure. I mean, but they're both below the initial balance
Block
low, so.
sell.
As of right now, the current posture is in favor of the Bears. But again, this may be a bit short-lived. Yeah, I ended up just liquidating. Doesn't appear they're trying to trade any lower at the moment. I would have liked to seen ES stay a bit weak. I was short. I was short on ES. Should have thought about looking at the NQ, given that range break. But it's all good. I want to see if they. I can always get back into the ES. Just want to see how they respond if they have any more price excursion upwards. Because it already took them forever to break lower, and now that we are lower, they don't. They just stop. They just started kind of grinding back up. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. NQs looking like they're trying to break these
Block
lows
sell.
again. Someone forced that through, and it looks like we may get some continuation. Yeah. They're grinding lower. Yeah. No one's trying to lift these offers. Yeah.
Block sell.
All right, that's that 1 minute candle. It was pretty bad look. And they're crawling back up. Let's see how far they can get. So again, ES did not hit their overnight lows. The NQ did. They pushed through it a little bit, closed under once, and it appears to be that we are gravitating back up. Yeah, we'll give these both about a -2. ES can't stay above those sevens.
Blocks
And now
A.
they too are leaning back down to the ground. And keys back under their overnight low. I did an order on accident. Just trying to do a sell stop. Oh, I'm glad I didn't stay in there. I did a sell limit on accident.
Block buy. Yeah, I got a sell stop at the at that overnight low. Curious to see if we're going to break through that. If not, I'm just gonna liquidate this shit because it seems real sketchy. And Q's tapping their low of the day and bouncing back up. Yeah, I'm really not trusting this. Block buy.
But you got some buyers definitely trying here, but you got a shitload of sellers that are just really stacking up. They're not really getting much reward. I mean, for this RTH, we got what, 12 points of range? Even though it's lighter volume, the people that are playing, there's just a lot of effort for this. And Q, they're kind of spooling up at these overnight lows. Yeah, now they're starting to break some of these highs. We may see a little impulse. There we go. So let me cancel this order.
Block buy.
And I need to look for a pullback now that we are at a area of interest, which is the overnight low. We have broke structure, and we want to judge the quality of the pullback on this way back down. Only issue with this is that these both products are red, with Nvidia being down 3.5%.
So I don't know. This feels like a strange day. I really can't put my finger on what's going on. But I don't think this should be something that I should attempt to buy. I think I'm gonna put that sell stop back in. I'm just gonna do one contract instead of two.
Block buy. Block sell. Block buy. Block sell. Block sell.
Alright, so I ended up getting in. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting, but not this come back up into this
Block sell.
range. They need to like stay down because we're almost at this 30-minute
Block
marker.
sell. Block sell. Block buy.
And stay down. And stay down because they have range to eat through. And stay down another 30 seconds. They're probably gonna pull back up though.
Block buy.
Yeah, NQ been a better option.
Block buy.
Okay, there we go. And I just left it at one contract, but you know, it's fine. Okay, you want to see where they are to finish this? Yeah, they're gonna scurry back up. Another 5 seconds. I wouldn't be surprised if they make their way back up to those threes for the ES. Okay, there we go. And we do remember we have these singles. NQ is busting. NQ did not hit their singles yet. Right? Not yet. Yeah.
Block sell.
Okay, those are those singles. Remember, ES has those at the 87s. Alright, I liquidated. Yeah, I really need to work on my product picking. Man, that was a smooth ass 80 points.
Block sell.
On that NQ. And they were the weaker product. Alright, no worries.
Block sell. Block sell.
Again, that was just a quick breakout trade. We're not gonna do too much of
Block
that.
sell.
I think I really should have been targeting those singles, but I don't feel like I'm in the right product.
Block buy. Block sell.
Quick look on the daily. All kind of singles above us for the NQ.
Block buy.
Nvidia down a little over 4%. Broadcom about 3.5%.
Block cell. Block cell.
Yeah, it's the urgency. So I won't be surprised if we get some more of this because these singles are about 4 points away.
Block cell. Block cell.
What's that dirty candle? Again, this isn't unexpected,
Block
as we
cell.
did have the... Okay, those are those singles right about there. They should break those, and if they do break those, you definitely should see some more. There we go.
Block cell. Block buy.
Alright, so again, those were those singles. The bottom of those singles are going to be the 78s. And NQ is about 60 points from their 50, 60 points from their low from the prior day.
Block cell.
Oof, what a reprice.
Block cell.
So that definitely should pick up that volume. Massive, very, very negative on this delta. Again, sellers have been pushing extremely hard. Now they're starting to get awarded. They're starting to be rewarded for it.
Block buy. Block cell.
Again, we're still in those singles from the prior day. It's about another 7 points or so. Hey, puppy. Alright, that is the first green candle on the minute for the ES since, oof, 11 minutes ago. We'll see how that goes. Again, we're still in these singles.
Block by.
Oh, let's do our new marker. So that was almost a whole percent drop for the NQ. Mainly technology.
Block cell.
Yeah, that was mainly technology.
Block cell.
Which we can see that on the DOM as well.
Block cell. Block cell.
Alright, clearly has broken the prior day's low for the NQ. We're about at that halfway mark for the ES from the prior day. Almost done with those singles. Alright, we're officially done. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. So nice cleanup. Nice cleanup for the ES.
Block cell.
Ooh, that negative, that negative is, that delta is so negative. It's just really cool to see.
Block cell.
Negative 6,500
Block
minimum, negative 32,000 minimum on the ES. It's crazy. So again, that was the end of those singles. Where did the NQ stop? Took prior days low, but not those other days.
Block by.
Okay, so some engulfing candles on both products. Again, we are so fucking negative right now for Delta. It's a lot of sellers here. Alright, buyers really want to finish these last 4 seconds. Push, 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 push. Okay, a little bit of a pullback. Alright, so again, we want to monitor this pullback and see the strength of the buyers.
Block by.
We did our mark a while ago, right? Yes, that's still just ES. It's really just tech that's just weak right now. But we did see that yesterday as well. I want to see if we're going to pull back, possibly defend, maybe around the 80s, the 80 to 70 point, right where this passive buyer is. Because you can see we have a crap load of sellers down here at these 80s. So again, if this is going to be a start of a trend leg up, then we really shouldn't see any kind of pullback, and they should be protecting the 5 smoothing average on the 1 minute. Because if we look at this from the 3-minute candles, yeah, we broke a little bit of structure, but we haven't closed above it yet. We have 30 seconds to ideally have some kind of showing, but I really want to see how we trade around the 78, the 79 to this 80, this area down here, if we make it back out here.
Block sell. Block buy.
Okay. We're at that 15-minute mark.
Block buy. Block sell.
This is a little bit weird because I got my finger on the bid button. I put one bid in at the 83.75. I'm probably going to cut this a little soon, but knowing that we finished our singles and we have a lot of sellers that were fairly aggressive, I'm definitely okay with taking some heat here. But I think I probably should have waited to see how we did on that 80s test.
Block buy.
I like that the Nasdaq is starting to bull flag again, but we haven't seen this kind of selling urgency in a little bit. So it was good that the price action was able to eat up those singles. And this is what I'm talking about with the singles here. So they filled in that gap there where it was only one bracket that traded for that price. So we filled that up exactly and we pushed up. Doesn't mean we're going to stay up, but we just want to see how they're going to defend here to this low. Ideally, we really should just wait and see how we retest that low point. So I mean, if we do go
Block
back there,
buy.
I'd be willing to possibly add, but I'm not really itching to liquidate this. But you know, something may change my mind soon, especially if ES becomes the one that's a bit weaker opposed to technology. Yeah, I'm not really liking how they're trading right now because we will want to see them really get away from this price. I stay away. So we got some little bids coming in, but you know, these are passives. We're not seeing them be aggressive. We'll see if they can get filled. If they don't get filled, you may see them get aggressive, just like this. Now, I don't know why they disappeared. Will they mark it in? You know, we don't really know. They're just kind of sitting
Block
here,
sell.
kind of showing their hand a little bit, but we don't know their intentions. Now we have ES and NQ pushing together from here and here. But we'll need to see if that's sustained. Yeah, I was very impatient today. Shoulda, not shoulda, coulda, woulda, but whatever. I mean, yeah, it was part of my plan. We pushed up, we pulled back a little bit. I bought one of those pullbacks, and we've been making higher highs and higher lows this time. And I'd be willing to liquidate if the reason that we got into this trade is no longer present, which is the strength of these other sectors, but we're starting to see this money that was taken out and sold from the NQ being pushed back into the NQ, and that's why the NQ is up this, 20 basis points here. But I don't like that finance and healthcare are a bit of the laggards now. So I was on the wrong side to the downside here, and I'm a little bit hesitant that I may be on the wrong side to the if we do revert back upwards as well. Not that I may be on the wrong side, but I think I need to be comfortable that the S&P 500 is going to move a bit slower. And I get that. It's just not the most comfortable to sit through for my personality. That is. Do I give the dog a pill? All right, I'll see what she says. But also on the same note, I'm not choosing the product that's down 1%. So, all right, I'm not gonna overlook into this because I know how this shit goes. I'll be kind of monitoring this, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop off the mic now because I don't want to smother this trade. So, if I need to liquidate, then so be it. But I think this may be it better right now. We had our open auction. We had our drift lower for the ES. We had our, let's do a full session. Excuse me, this is for the NQ. So we had our open auction there. We ended up picking the side, went lower. Once we broke lower, we pushed lower, headed to the overnight, bear flag, and then we had another impulse lower for that. So fairly simple there. And then for the ES, same situation, except it was more of a two-way trading open auction to the downside. Once they broke that IB low, bear flag, and then just liquidated lower towards those singles. And then that's where we are now. We pretty much stopped right at the end of those singles, poked a little bit below it, and now we're starting to find a little bit of a move upwards. Doesn't mean this is going to take us back to the DGPs, daily
Block
generated
five.
prices. But again, that was an important reference point from yesterday. A bit of a gimme or a target for the sellers, which may have been also why they were so aggressive in the first place, just to really get to that area. So I wouldn't be surprised if the people that sold it to us are also gonna buy it from us in this situation. They forced to get us down, and they may try to force it back up. Doesn't mean they will, but you know, we'll see. Just a bit of a context of where we are. So he can't be in daycare while we travel. Not off work. Okay, we are pushing up for some reason. I missed a little bit of what was going on, but again, we do have a shitload of people that are off balance right now. Let's look at the ES. That's what we in. Negative 20,000. Like, come on, bro. And the majority of the volume is here at these 84s. So if they push past these 84s, especially if they get back up to this 5,900, which is like 9 points away, these motherfuckers finna get smoked for sure. And again, we still were mentioning those sixes. We were talking about the sixes earlier. But ideally, buyers want to get back above these 98s. Ideally, the round figure 5,900. I'm sure that'll get a lot of people sweating. And then NQ, we've just been seeing a lot of selling pressure in NQ just for the multiple days, just in general, but specifically for the last 15 minutes and the last 30 minutes. They really want to get. They're already above the majority of the sellers here, but they really just want to get back above this 20K 500 area. Then they have the 20K 570 area as the second point of reference that they need to head to. I'm gonna drop these on 30 minutes. Okay, I'll take care of that. Wait, did I even put this shit on mute? No, I didn't. I'll be right back.
Block by. Block sell. Block sell. Block sell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block cell. Block by. Block cell. Block cell.